Hello everybody, it is your boy Test Tree back at it with another video. And I thought I would go back to sports, trying to cover as much football as I can. I know a lot has happened, and I've been, not really been talking about it much because really, they really just didn't have any interest in YouTube. But I decided to get back into it and maybe try to build a. Excuse me, I'm a little under the weather, but I'm gonna try and build a kind of little football community and let's see how it goes. So with that being said, I am a Browns fan. If you can't tell by my profile picture, and so I thought I would go over the the 2022 season predictions. Oh boy, I'm a little rusty. But if you notice it, there's an asterisk. It says with Deshaun Watson suspended for 4 games. So if you don't know about the complete chaos that was our off season, um, after a disappointing 8-9 season, the Browns tried to go get Deshaun Watson, and they got him, which resulted in Baker Mayfield being a little upset at this, and so it resulted in him being being traded to the Carolina Panthers, and so Mayfield will compete with Sam Darnold for the QB position, and the Browns will have, assuming Deshaun Watson is suspended, and I found out he was actually suspended. Well, actually, that's incorrect. I think it was like 6 games, not 4 games. So I'll have to keep that in mind. I meant to say 6 instead of 4. But now they're actually appealing to try and get Deshaun Watson suspended for the entire season, and that is going to be even more craziness. So that being said, let's get into the 2022 season predictions for the Cleveland Browns. If I'm going too fast, let me know in the comments below if I'm speaking too fast. Sorry. So first up, and you'll never guess who we play week 1. We play the Carolina Panthers, who got the aforementioned Baker Mayfield and are having a QB battle as well with Sam Darnold. I mean, anything is better than what they've had between a washed up Cam Newton and PJ Walker. Christian McCaffrey should be good. Should be good to go. They do have DJ Moore. They do have some good weapons. I still think this team is in a bit of a rebuild, but the Browns have not. Hang on, actually, let me look this up real quick. Ooh. The Browns have not won a season opener since 2014, thanks to an 85-yard game-winning drive that was capped off with Billy Cundiff's field goal. The Browns have not won a playoff game or not won a season opener since then. And so I think we will continue this trend because our backup is going to be Jacoby Brissett or Josh Dobbs, whoever it will be. And I think we start off the season 0-1. Carolina, I think Christian McCaffrey is going to run all over that defense, and I'm not looking forward to that. Next, we have the New York Jets. I'm actually on Google Slides or PowerPoint, whichever one you want to call it. The New York Jets. The Jets look like a pretty cool team to cheer for. They've really improved all around. They got Garrett Wilson in the draft. They picked up C.J. Uzama from the Bengals. They fixed up a leaky offensive line by getting Laken Tomlinson. Unfortunately, just news broke out that Zach Wilson had a meniscus surgery, and his status is questionable. Now, granted, I think he should be back for week 2, but week 1 is in question. If he's not there for week 1, then chances are he probably won't be there for week 2. But we have done well against the Jets lately, barring the 2020 game that we lost to them. I mean, the Jets are the whole reason why we won our first game of the year back in 2018 on a Thursday Night Football game. Uh, then we beat the Jets in 2019. We beat the Jets in 2020. No, we lost to the Jets in 2020. We did not play the Jets in 2021, I don't think. No, we didn't. And so this would be the fourth time in 5 years we play the Jets. And I have us winning this game solely based on the fact that the Jets are going to be a young team. They're going to be a little inexperienced. The Browns are going to have a good running back duo, Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. And so I think that's going to help us win this game. Next we have is Thursday Night Football game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers had a pretty crazy offseason as well. They bid farewell to Ben Roethlisberger. Honestly, good riddance to him. Uh, so now they don't know what to do at QB. They had Mason Rudolph. Then they went ahead and picked up Mitch Trubisky. Then in the draft they selected Kenny Pickett, who looked pretty good at his season opener in the preseason. The Steelers, as we all know, the Steelers have had our number for quite some time. It's been a very, very bad. We've had some very bad stretches against the Steelers, but they have it. Excuse me, I don't know how it's spaced out. They have T.J. Watt. They have Pat Freiermuth. They've had Chase Claypool. They have some decent weapons. I'm not. I wasn't sure about this game because it's a Thursday night football game, so it's gonna be on it's gonna be like 3 days rest, which isn't a lot. But I went ahead and picked the W over the Steelers because we don't know who's going to be at QB. Of course, this is probably going to change depending on who is the starter for the Steelers. And as long as we can limit TJ Watt, I think we win this game. Next up, we have the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons are in full-blown rebuild mode. They drafted Drake London. They got who was it? Desmond Ritter. They picked up Marcus Mariota in free agency. This team is in a full-blown rebuild, and so I have us winning this game. And then you have the LA Chargers. The Chargers. Whew, that's a loaded team right there. They pick up Khalil Mack. They get J.C. Jackson. They have a loaded offense and Justin Herbert, Austin Eckler. Who else? Keenan Allen. Joey Bosa, who's one of my favorites because he was an Ohio State alumni. Last time we played the Chargers beat us in a pretty thrilling game that was capped off through a controversial offensive pass interference, or was it defensive pass interference? I don't know. But anyway, the Chargers are going to be in a very loaded AFC West, and thank the living God that we don't play the AFC West this year because I don't think we would have won any of those games. However, I went ahead and was bold and said that we get the win here because I feel like that the Chargers tend to have those really stinker games, and I feel like this will be one of them. Next, we have the New England Patriots. The Patriots were able to get back to the postseason, God help us all, because of Mac Jones. Mac Jones looked pretty solid in his first year. However, there's a little bit of an issue as Matt Patricia and Joe Judge are both calling plays. Yes, the Patriots have not announced an offensive play caller because Josh McDaniels was sent to the Broncos. Or no, sent to the Raiders, excuse me. The Patriots had a quite sad offseason as they let a lot of players go. And so for that, I went ahead and gave us the win. I mean, we got to beat Bill Belichick at some point, right? Just beating Bill Belichick would be awesome. Then you have the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens spent a lot of time in the infirmary. I mean, everybody and their mother was injured. Lamar Jackson was injured. The running backs were injured. They had no quarterbacks at some point. Tyler Huntley looked pretty good though, at least. The only healthy player I could think healthy players on that Ravens team that was left was Mark Andrews and Justin Tucker. That was about it. The goal for the Ravens this season is to stay healthy, and even though we are division rivals, I have to commend you for having a good draft. You went ahead and got Tyler Linderbaum. Tyler Hamilton fell into your laps. You got a pretty good secondary, a loaded defense. The running back should be healthy. Everybody should be healthy. And as for that, I have the Browns losing to the Ravens because we just have a hard time against the Ravens as well. But luckily, we play the Cincinnati Bengals. Excuse me. The defending AFC champions. Oh, that was so hard to say. Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals went to a Super Bowl despite one of the worst offensive lines in NFL history. Joe Burrow took about 9 sacks in the divisional round and still won. I mean, it was a crazy all-around season for the Bengals. And honestly, I really do have to commend you for doing it. Because if you had told me that the Bengals were going to the Super Bowl last year before they did, I would have laughed in your face. But here we are. And I'll actually make a video about the craziest underdog runs in NFL history if we hit 400 subscribers. I'll release that video. I'm actually making it right now. Well, I was actually in the middle of making it before I made this video. And so I'll make that video if we hit 400 subscribers. So anyway, back to this. So the Bengals they fixed the offensive line. They picked up Alex Kappa and some other guys. They still have Joe Mixon, Jamar Chase, D. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd, the best wide receiver trio in the league, hands down. They have a good front seven. It's not really talked about that much. They do have a good front seven, and the Bengals also picked up Daxton Hill from Michigan to help Eli Apple be a better person. Eli Apple. And the Browns, shockingly, have had some good success against the Bengals lately. I'm not sure why, but we just have the Bengals number lately. And so I think we keep that up by winning this game. Next we have, and then it gets harder from here actually, because next up is the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins whose former head coach decided to burn the league to the ground after calling the NFL racist. Then they go ahead and picked up a pretty good coach in Mike McDaniels. Then they picked up a certain player named Tyreek Hill. Not sure if he was any good. And gave Tua practically enough nuclear weapons to put Russia to shame. And so, hopefully nobody hears that. And so, I have us losing this game because the Dolphins are just so speedy, so fast that I just don't think the Browns, who usually stick with bully ball, the running game, which is the running game, which will probably be stuffed by the Dolphins, who actually have a good defense. They picked up some pretty good players over there. And so, yeah, I have us losing this game. Next, we have the Buffalo Bills, and we are going to lose this game. Next, we have Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, and we are going to lose this game. Next, we have the Houston Texans. Oh, boy. The Texans gave us Deshaun Watson, and they got some pretty good first-round picks to go with it. And this is in Houston, so I expect a lot of boos to come down from the stands. But the Texans, despite having Brandon Cooks, are in a full-blown rebuild. And so, for that reason, I have us winning this game because as much as I like Davis Mills and how well he performed, I feel like the Browns are kind of the better team here. And next we have the Cincinnati Bengals again. Same thing about what I said. I have us winning this game because I feel like we are the stronger team here. The stronger, or actually, let me rephrase that. We're not the stronger team. We just have had success against the Bengals as of late, and I think we sweep the Bengals. I feel like that we can do that. I feel like it's a possibility, regardless of who is that QB for us. It could be Deshaun Watson. It could be Josh Dobbs. It could be Jacoby Brissett. It could even be Josh Rosen. I forgot to actually mention the Browns picked up Josh Rosen, former Arizona Cardinals first round pick. So I feel like we should probably win this game. Next, we have the Baltimore Ravens, and we are going to lose this game because beating John Harbaugh is apparently an impossible task for us. And yeah, I don't know if this is in Baltimore. I forgot to actually add the at and versus to like identify if this is a home or away game. But if this is the away game, then I don't know if we win in Baltimore. Next, we have the New Orleans Saints. Or should I say the Neo New Orleans Saints, as this is a whole different safety to what we're used to. If you haven't been living under a rock, Drew Brees has been retired, and so they've went with famous Jameis, who actually had a pretty good season last year before an ACL tear took him down. Then the Saints almost made the postseason, which would have been crazy because they had pretty bad offense, but had a pretty rock solid defense. And so, but I feel like we take the win. I feel like the Browns are going to win this game, but this one could go either way. As this one could definitely, as this is probably like late in the season. I think this is week, I don't know. This is like week 15 or no, 16. Oh yeah. If you don't know, there's 18 weeks in the NFL season now. So I feel like we win this game. Then we have the Washington Commanders. Really? Commanders? That's the name you go with? And Commander isn't even that high of a rank. Like, if you were going to go for the military tree, then why didn't you go for generals? Like, why not that? Oh, well. Oh, Dan Snyder, why are you like this? Anyway, the Commanders went ahead and picked up Carson Wentz after he was exiled from Indianapolis for failing to lift them to the postseason. Washington, as we all know, usually struggles because Dan Snyder and probably will. I actually don't know if I have finished my NFL season predictions. I'll probably get that posted, but Washington had a pretty Washington I think was like near the bottom, but I might change that. I don't know. Anyway, Washington had a pretty off season. They did get Carson Wentz. Chase Young should be back, so they should have their defense. The defense was pretty good in 2020. It's supposed to have got them to the postseason. And then once Chase Young got injured, the entire freaking defense fell off a cliff. And so I actually have us winning because this should be an unbeatable game. Like this should be a winnable game. Like this is easy. And then we traveled to Pittsburgh and played the Steelers. I have us losing because other than that wild card game, winning in Pittsburgh is near impossible. And so, with that being said, my overall predictions are 10 wins, 7 losses, which probably isn't enough for a wild card because because I'll probably upload the NFL season predictions, and you'll see why 10 wins is probably not enough for a playoff. But let me know in the comments below. What do you think the Browns' record is going to be? Leave a like, leave a comment, hit the subscribe button. If we hit 400 subscribers, I'll make the best underdogs in NFL history video. And with that being said, I hope you all have a fantastic day and see you later. I'm Chaz Treat, and as always, let's go Browns.